I got you, people. Now, I don't really talk about this subject, particularly about races and all that, because I don't pay mind to that. Everybody always got something to say, but it looks like now certain platforms of the black communities got something against people that speak Latin, right? And mind you that people that speak Latin, that's not their heritage. That's not their nationality. Thing is that most speaking people from, you call it Latin America. Reason why it's called Latin America, because the Spaniards so-called discover Latin America. That's what they call it, Latin America, right? That's Americas, but everybody there spoke their own languages, right? Indigenous. Thing is, since we were conquered and oppressed and forced to speak the language of the conquerors, right? So we speak Spanish now, but we not Spanish. You already know that. People call it Spanish because they want to call it Spanish. But when we ask each other who we are, we don't say we Spanish. We say we speak Spanish, but we're not Spanish. We say where we from, what race we from, right? We from Ecuador, El Salvador, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, you know, all kinds of Latin races. But that's not our nationality. We speak the language, but we're not from there. So we got these now black communities that want to blame all Latin people that speak Latin but are not from the Latin race, that are responsible for putting Donald Trump in office. You believe that? Most people that voted for Donald Trump either were born American or American citizens. Remember, everybody that's in America is an immigrant. Not even the so-called white Americans are native to this country or indigenous to this country, okay? They came from Europe trying to escape the kingship taxes that it was putting on them, and most of them were criminals that came here to evade taxes from the kingdom. And they couldn't get away, right? The kingdom still taxed them and still put the burden on them that they, just because you live in America, you still had to pay taxes to the queen and queen in England, right? Tax never went away. You're still getting taxed. And if you're supposed to have a deportation of every person that speaks Latin, because you call them immigrants, and they don't belong here, you yourself don't belong here because you migrated here without invitation, without any documents. So you should be in that deportation list too. Also, they said even if you was neutralized here, I guess for another parent that came and became citizens, and you were born and you wasn't a citizen, you still came from far distance away, you should also be deported. That means that every so-called white Caucasian that's here in America should also get deported and sent back to the mainland, which is England, that they ain't got no attachment to England anymore because they don't speak the proper English to go to Great Britain, right? Great Britain, people from over there in the Americas speak two different languages. In America, we speak slang English. In England, they speak English, like pure English, right? We get the laws from the English government and we adopt it here in the Americas. So that's why people speak so-called American now, but not from the English language, right? They created their own language. They created their own culture, right? The culture from America, the pilgrims that came here, is not the same as from England anymore. So they also lost ties with their homelands, right? So they made a new living here out in the Americas, in North America, whatever you want to call it, the West, things like that. But thing is that a lot of people now are bringing down the Latin people that came here. They also came here to prosper. They didn't came here to get handouts. There's no person that came from overseas that struggled coming in trailers and for miles and crossing lakes just to be on welfare. It doesn't work like that for these people. These people come here to work. No matter how much you pay them, how many times you're going to tell them to come to work, they're going to come to work and get that money. Just because you Americans don't want to work, don't blame them, the immigrants or the migrants that come here to work, because even if they don't get employed by the books, they always find some way to work. And people will always be glad to pay these people to do some work that nobody else wants to do. You know that a mechanic wants to get paid like $800 a week or probably more for the work he does. It could take 30 minutes and he's going to charge you like $300 or $400 for a job that took him 30 minutes. And you hire a migrant to do the same job and he's going to probably charge you maybe $250, $200, right? Because he wants that money and he wants to work. No matter how long or how fast it takes, he's going to charge you the minimum he can so he could have you coming back and getting your money. But no, but the Americans here want to overcharge you. What happens when they take these so-called migrants out and you want to mow your grass, do a little construction? Since they're not here no more, you know how many contractors are going to be waiting for that list to do the same job that the guy was doing for $150? They're going to charge you $800 to do the same job. I'm sure you're not going to like that. But that's going to happen when you see none of these migrants around out there in the corner looking for a job for the same job that your next door neighbor contractor is going to charge you $800 for a job that took him maybe 30 minutes. Let's see what you're going to say and who you're going to complain that he's charging you $800. All right? And also, these black people and social media got to stop blaming the Latin people that voted for Trump, because most of us, we don't even care if we voted for Trump or not, because if Trump does good, it's all right for the people. He does bad, who gives a F? He fucked up. He's a Caucasian too. He's a migrant himself. And he fucked up. He fucked it up for his own people. We don't care. We're still going to live. We're still going to survive. Because we survivors, right? We came here under oppression. And we made it out. And we don't want to be trapped anymore in the system. So we're not going to ask for us to do this and do that. Or no, we need more money. Or you owe us this money. We're not going to work no more. No. Like I say, those are the simple people that don't want to do anything. All they do is complain, but they don't do nothing. I'll give you an example, right? A lot of Latin people, you so-called that they don't work or they're taking jobs. They own their own business, right? They struggle to put their business at work, right? They probably worked in a little hustle job, 2 jobs, sell vegetables, did deliveries. And sooner or later, they open up their own store. Their store grew. They open up something else. They bought themselves a piece of real estate. See, they moved up gradually. It wasn't in one shot. But it seems like black people, I know this is going to get it because I'm saying black, right? But it's no way to call them. They're black. Everybody that's not white is considered black. So anyway, if you don't like the word black, figure out what you want to be called, another color, or another race. I don't know, but it's the struggle is between blacks and whites, right? Anything that's not white is considered black. That's it. So you got black people complaining that these immigrants are taking your jobs. No, they're taking jobs that you don't want. Everybody's still saying that, but you keep on complaining that they here to replace you. No, they're doing jobs that you don't want. Even if you could have the job, you don't want to work, right? Because you're going to say, oh, they don't pay enough. I can't make a living now. You never satisfied. Because all you want is more handouts. You want them to give you free housing. Even if you do get free housing, instead of moving out the house and then improving, you stay there. You take a generational stay in these housings, right? You there with a family. Your kids grow up. You don't let them move on. You don't tell them to work. Go learn a trade. No. You said, no, don't lose the apartment because you don't pay no rent. You don't pay no light. So it becomes a generational passed over living in these housing projects, and you never get out because you don't want to achieve anything in the family. You don't want to move out the family. You keep them back, right? How many black people earn money, that make good money? There's billionaire black people and colored people. How is it that they don't own a business? How is it that they're not producing manufacturing goods, right? Mass production. You want jobs, but you could create your jobs. How many black millionaires are out there? Why they don't do things to help their own people, instead of complaining every time that they're entitled or that they want something because their ancestors did the struggle. And mind you, they didn't did the struggle. Their ancestors did the struggle, and they didn't get none of these benefits, but they living in an age now that they get all these free housing, food stamps, medical care, transportation. You get reduced fare, all kinds of things, senior citizen discounts, and they're always complaining. They're always saying that people are holding them down. Now, it's not the white man that's holding them down. It's the Latin-speaking people that's holding the blacks down. Come on, give me a break, man. You got to get off of that and thrive on yourself. You put yourself down. You know that a lot of black people rather live out of their own community with a Latin community or white neighborhood. Because why? Because they know that their own people are only going to create chaos in their neighborhood. Right? They're not going to do nothing but just hang around, smoke, 24 hours a day, hanging on the lobby, playing spades, drinking. They're just not going to do nothing, cause trouble. They've been, do stick up in their own neighborhoods, in their own building, their own tenants get robbed by their own neighborhood